the light of true awakening must pierce the veil of mind. It can enter through mind, but it must go deeper. It must pierce the veil of the acquisitive mind. It must go deeper. What does that mean? It means it must enter the realm of the human experience. And the human experience inevitably involves the heart, in the sense of those places in ourselves, those structures in ourselves that we have erected that create a false sense of protection, a kind of fortress against being hurt, against being vulnerable. And all those kind of dynamics that play themselves out in relationship, all kinds of relationships, intimate relationships, and the relationship to the world, the relationship to everything. It's in what we call the heart that these strategies of defense take place. To avoid being touched, to avoid being heartbroken, to avoid feeling vulnerable, to avoid feeling tender, because somehow that makes us helpless. So very often one sees there can be profound non-dual understanding, but the heart is still armored. This requires this falling of the light of, or the filtering of the light of awakeness into the heart space, requires both courage and surrender. Courage in the sense of being willing to be vulnerable. Being willing to go deeper than any spiritual, non-dual ideology and any non-dual persona, to make mistakes. Although there are no mistakes, although it feels as if one makes mistakes, to be humble, to be tender, to be true, to tell the truth. Sometimes that truth is not always gentle. Sometimes that truth is a raging fire. To tell the truth and to listen to the truth. Because the heart is often armored in a nice way, which is the incapacity, unwillingness to listen to another's truth, because it hurts, because it threatens something. It threatens my safety or my security or my constancy. This is how things are. The heart, in its depth, has no defense. It's open. Can tell the truth and listen to the truth. Listening to the truth is also our own internal truth. It might not be always what we want to hear. So there's a kind of courage in this, the willingness to tell the truth and listen to the truth. There is also a freshness in that. It's unknown. It's not coming from the mind's position of I'm certain this is how I feel, or I'm certain this is how it is. No certainty. This filtering of the light of awakeness into the human experience, into the heart realm, into relationship, all relationships, is also a surrender. It's a surrender of the mind's pedestal. It's a surrender of the mind's acquisition of knowledge, of understanding. There's a great not knowing in this. There's a great freshness in this. So it's not about developing some kind of non-dual personhood. It's about being surprised by how awakened consciousness is revealed through you, as you, and in the relationship with life. In a nutshell, this is the embodiment, the integration. And then all ideologies, all truisms come undone. There's great freedom in this.